it's not the only reason why I have my slogans, because I love them, but I know that they will make the customer feel a certain way and want to buy it.
I mean, it links to an article that I picked out from the Harvard Business Review, the psychology section of it. It's about wearing luxury brands making you seem more qualified for the job.
Yes.
Now, we could come back to that, but on the other side, your article is about how it makes you feel and why people do it. And remember they said 2 types of pride?
Oh, in yours?
No, in your article. The one
okay.
you sent in, it said that that the research that they'd done here, this bunch of psychologists, I think in the University of British Columbia, there are 2 types of pride that we're exercising when we consume luxury brands. One they call authentic pride, which is more to do with demonstrating, if not to anybody else, at least to yourself, success, a reward. Some people say that buying a Porsche or something is purely keeping count of your success. But then they said there is another type of pride, and you're wearing them for a different reason, which is hubristic pride, which is where you're saying to other people, look at me, and being a snobbish. So there are 2 things there are 2 different ways it might make you feel. What did you think of that? What do you think people, I suppose they might buy them for both reasons, do you think?
I think the second one. Pride, because of the first pride. If everyone had to go and live on a desert island on their own, you're not going to buy a Porsche, you're not going to buy a Range Rover. You probably wouldn't even shave your legs.
I wouldn't.
You might go for the best brand of coconut matting with a label. I don't know.
But I'm not sure how much difference there is between those two, because you've got the authentic, what it describes as the authentic pride, which is...
that comes from...
Can I just interrupt to say, you've got to stop interrupting.
Sorry.
You got to what?
She's got to stop interrupting. She interrupted her sister to tell her to stop interrupting.
Yeah, I noticed.
The authentic pride is a bit snobby as well, because if you I deserve this Jag because I've worked really hard and da-da-da, maybe you're not thinking about what other people are thinking. It's just that you deserve it. I suppose, is that the difference? Is that what they're saying? So it's about yourself, whereas if you're saying I'm going to buy a Jag because of what it will make people think of me, that's hubristic pride.
So I think it's something to do with other people viewing you as opposed to rewarding yourself, keeping count. Look how feeling successful because you now can afford the Rolls Royce, which is in the gap. I know somebody who has a massive collection of incredibly expensive cars. Each one has its own little air-conditioned unit, and they go up and down in a lift.
Well, they can't.
You'll never see them. He's not displaying them to you. He collects them for various reasons, but one of them might be authentic pride, how successful he is that he can have these things.
So, do you think, Katie, that if somebody spends, can I say how much one of your bags is? Top of the range bag, a princely sum of £3,500. They do go down to about 800 for a bum bag. Okay, so somebody's going to buy a £3,500 bag. Do you want them to buy it for authentic pride because they're rewarding themselves, they're worth it, they like it? Obviously, that's important to you, I guess, that they actually like it. They're not just going to buy it because of the name on the label. Or would, if they were buying it from the snobby aspect, the snobbier pride, the hubristic, to show off to their friends, I've got one of these and you haven't, kind of a thing. Do you care, or is it just buy it? I don't care why you buy it.
No, I think both, because I think having both of those emotions, it's like that's really going to drive you to want to have it. If you feel that it's recognisable and other people are going to know, even if it's only subtly recognisable. And so you can. I think the first one's probably the most important. The authentic one, that you feel like you can afford it and you've treated yourself. But I think probably most people would be lying. Don't know if you agree with this.
No, but
if they actually say there's no part of them that doesn't quite like.
But I don't think the authentic pride exists, because that wouldn't exist without the second.
Without the second one.
Pride. How would that exist if we hadn't built something up because it was desirable? Because it demonstrated you're wealthy.
I think that's very valid, actually, because you've got the snobbier pride is because other people want it for themselves. They want the authentic pride, but maybe they can't afford it, or they bought the wrong brand. And
it's maybe something to do with separation, you see. the article does say that the research has implications for companies selling luxury goods. Because remember, this is a bit of research where they were testing, excuse me, they were trying to engender people's feelings of either hubris or accomplishment and see which was the strongest motivator, which would be more strongly connected with different brands. And they reckon that for companies selling luxury goods, listen up, luxury brands are sometimes positioned in a manner associating them with snobbery, for instance, contrasting their wearers with labourers of lower status. Don't know why they say labourers, but anyway, labourers of lower status. I've never seen an advert like that, but maybe we can think of some. On the other hand, ones such as Rolex are positioned as a crown for every achievement, which isn't any way distinguishing you from anybody else. It's your own achievement. Now, and it says the strongest of those motives to purchase is the latter. It's that achievement motivation which will strongly drive people to buy a brand. Stronger than hubris wanting to be a snob.
But then I think Jess is completely...
She's not wanting to interrupt, so she's putting her hand up, which is not very useful on radio.